Alright guys, today we're gonna do a recap video on the stocks traded today. So here we have VUZI, VUZI. It was a stock that we traded. It was setting up for a gap and go setup. Siéntate, papi. It was setting up for a gap and go setup. As you can see here, this stock went up from 230 up to 263 pre-market. So that was a potential setup for gap and go. Of course, here it hit a high of 275. So this would have been the nice setup, 275 for a potential entry. Now this is a 5-minute chart. As you can see, it hit a high of 308 from potential 275 entry, 275 up to 308. So we will dive into the 1-minute chart. This stock we traded it quite a bit today. Okay, so the first entry would have been over 275. So when the market opened, it opened around 259. As soon as I saw volume coming in, I jumped in around this orange candle, which is around 265, and sold up to 275. Down from this orange candle up to this orange candle, 275 to 80, and then it made a move higher. Of course, it never fails. I undercapitalized the move, but again, can't be greedy. You can't go wrong with taking profit from the table. So I hit a high of 308. It pulled back, and on this dip, I bought in at this support level, which I found was support 75, and bought in a few shares there. It sold up here at 285 on this blue candle. Bought this blue arrow and sold on this blue arrow. So that was that trade. And let's go to the next trade on this one. These next trades were just basically break-even trades. This one I timed it wrong. For some reason it seemed like dip buys were not working as clean today. Luckily I was trading with smaller size, so on this candle I bought in at 292, and I bought at the very low of it, which that was good, but it had already bounced, so I was buying the move down. And so I bought in here at 292 on this candle and sold at 288 on this arrow, orange arrow. So small loss there. I saw that this candle was exaggerated. It had an exaggerated drop. 271 would have been a nice entry. Ended up getting filled around 280. It didn't do much, so I stopped out immediately. 280 break-even trade. Breakout or bail out. So that was it on that stock. Now we will jump on to the next one. That was VUZI. And here we will jump to the next trade, which was MRAM. Okay, MRAM, as you can see here, it moved from 350 up to 572. So of course here, 350 up to 525, pulled back, made a move higher after this pullback up to 545. It pulled back down below VWAP, and then for a move higher up to 572. And now it's just consolidating around this VWAP level. So we'll jump into the 1-minute chart and look at this trade. Okay, so here we timed this one. Well, actually, the entry was nice. The entry was good. It's just the pullbacks, the dip buys were not working as clean today. This low was 525 on this candle, and on the next candle, it made a new lower. It broke this support, and it dipped down all the way to 502. And I believe this was my last trade of the day. So unfortunately, I stopped out at the very low of this candle, which if you look at it, it's not a bad stop because I should have stopped out sooner, probably break even if it didn't work immediately, but I was giving it some room. I really thought this was going to bounce up to at least 540. It's a nice 20-cent move, but it failed, came down to 502, and I stopped out there. As you can see, it kept going lower down to 481. So managed my loss on that one, which I'm happy about that. I managed it well, better than what I had thought that I would have. So the last trade we took was PTGX. PTGX was a monster. This thing went from trading 775 up to a high of 1682. So this stock, it was moving. It moved pretty quick from this level, which is 9, up to 1442. It halted going up, and that's what caught my attention. After the halt, I was wanting to get in. I was trying to time a good dip entry, a good dip buy, but I was kind of thinking uh, the half dollar, and it tapped the half dollar and then the whole dollar a couple of times. Like for example here, it resumed from the halt pretty high, $13 up to $13.50, went up to about $14, and then potentially here I could have put a buy order at $13.50 for a bounce back up to $14.42, almost a whole dollar. But I was too slow on it. I couldn't figure out the level 2, the stock. So I just kind of held tight. And finally, when I did decide to jump in, I set in a limit order to buy at 12.10, or actually 13.10. So I was thinking it was gonna come, dip 13, find support down here, because that's where it halted 13. Pick up those shares, and boom, squeeze back up to 14. So nice dollar trade per share. Of course, it didn't work, and as I'm seeing it now, I can see why it did not work. So 13.20 was the support here, and of course 13 was support here, and then you got more support here at 13, and then you have VWAP. So everything lined up to the downside, unfortunately. So I got filled in at 13.10, and those orders filled pretty quickly after I placed that order to buy, and this stock dropped the whole dollar from my entry. That was probably the biggest per share loss of the month. Yeah, I was trading with smaller size. I should have gone with even smaller size, but I didn't. So it came down all the way to 12.19. It almost halted going down, and then on the next candle, it broke that level 12.19. So I'm like, okay, I need to stop out because this thing's gonna halt going down. Sure enough, it did halt going down at 12.04. So I would have been down a whole dollar if I would have held on to that and just hoped for it to go up, which hope is not a good trading strategy. So we were watching this for resumption. By this time, I was kind of like, I probably shouldn't get back in. And so it resumed from the halt. It hit a low of 11.20. So you imagine me holding from $13 down to 11.20. It's almost $2 per share, and that's way too much. So I did the right thing by stopping out. It never fails though. The stock did recover, and it ended up coming back up to $13, my entry point, and then nice little micro pullback there at 13.08 for a squeeze up to 13.62. It halted and squeezed above 14, and it was pretty strong. I mean, it hit a high of 1670, 1680. So I feel like I did the right thing by stopping out. You just never know. I mean, this thing on another here, I could have got in for. I was kind of thinking about it, but I hesitated, possibly jumping in here, dip buy on this support level. This right here would be support, 11.30. So as you can see, I mean, this is support right here as it's coming down. So after the halt, it tapped 11.30, and then it went up 12.50, whole dollar from that dip buy opportunity. So, but I hesitated because I had already taken a loss up here, so I was like, I'm not sure. So, but it was a good learning experience. Like I said, I am happy that I was able to manage the loss and try to keep it relatively small share size. All right, guys. If you have any questions, just let me know. Thank you.